Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast battle report. Today, Maelstrom of War as the Cult Mechanicus and the Drukhari face off on this blasted city runescape. The objectives are set, the armies are ready, and there will be nothing but distraction after the dice rolls settle. Welcome to another battle report. Today, I'm playing Jacob. Say hi, Jacob.
Hello.
He is playing his Cult Mechanicus, and we're playing 1,500 points of battle, servitors, and other Mechanicum goodness.
Really?
Versus 1,500 points of Drukhari. I've brought a very interesting list, and he's brought a very interesting list. It's post Warhammer 40,000 big FAQ, and therefore we are playing with the new battalion rules and the new rule of 3 and all that good stuff. So let's get started and look at the armies and then immerse ourselves into this Maelstrom of War. 1,500 points of Drukhari. So I'm running a Cabal of the Black Heart Battalion and a Spearhead of Prophets of Flesh. Actually, no, I'm going to do Coven of 12. Yeah, let's do that. Coven of 12, we'll do that for the +1 AP on their attacks. So I've got, in the battalion, Archon Skari. He's got a Husk Blade and a Blast Pistol. I've got Xandar, or the more like a Drazar, just reworded. He's my Master of Blades. And then I've got 3 units of Cablite Warriors, a 10-man and 2 5-men, Blaster and Blaster, and then 2 Raiders with Disintegrator Cannons. I also have a Ravager with 3 Lancers and a Mighty Tantalus, that's right. And then the Coven of 12, we've got a Homunculus with a Stinger Pistol, 3 Grotesques for the Vanguard and an Elite, 5 Incubi and 5 Mandrakes, which are also elites, but they're mercenaries, so they can be placed in any detachment without me losing my bonuses. So let's take a look now at Jacob's Mechanicum. And here we have 1,500 points of Cult Mechanicus. And Jacob is very awesomely been painting up this army. Looks incredibly cool. He's got a bit of everything, lots of battle servitors, a couple of HQs. Okay, take it away. What did you bring today?
Okay, so I took the Stygies house, or for a battalion detachment. So running that, we're gonna have, or leading that, we're gonna have Warlord, Tech Priest Dominus,
Cool.
Keenereth. I'm using him for the Vogan.
Yeah.
I also have a Tech Priest Engine Seer.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be the second in command. He's gonna be doing lots of repairing. For troops, I have 2 squads of heavy battle servitors. They have heavy grav cannons and the phosphor blasters. Yeah, regular phosphor blasters on the side.
Very
and then
cool.
for the third choice, we have the squad of 4 breachers right here, which is just the arc rifles. And they actually have arc claws, but they're all the same kind of clawy kind of nonsense. And then for the heavy support, we have, of course, you got to have the 2 Doom bots of Doom, the 2 robots.
The shooty robots of Doom.
Yeah, they've got the three heavy phosphor blasters on them.
Yeah.
And then we have 2 Doom crawlers with they're the same loadout.
Super arrays of death.
Yes, the neutron cannons and the heavy stubber on the top for both of them, and then 2
Cognus stubber, right?
Or Cognus stubber,
Yeah.
heavy Cognus stubber. And then I have, these are 2 separate. They're going to be running separate. And then I have 2 Dragoons. One of them has a Phosphor Serpenta on him.
Oh, very cool. So you have a battalion and a spearhead.
No, just a battalion.
Oh, okay. So they're not a spearhead.
Yeah,
oh, right,
I
because you
would've
need
had to
another
run a
HQ.
third HQ.
So it is a full battalion. Cool. Now they give 5 command points. How excited are you about that?
Very. I'm so excited about that.
I love it. Okay, let's get to the table, folks. We've seen the armies. Now we're playing Maelstrom of War Mission 1. Just cleanse and capture, I think it's what it's called. So we've got objective 2 right next to this Aquila, of course. We're playing, it's the Aquila, so you need to get it. We have one in this crater over here by some administrative buildings. One near the tank traps. It was a defendable position in the conflict. We have objective number 4 here by the Ministorum building, the Administratum building. One near the old ruins of the old Republic, or whatever we want to call that. And one, that's objective 1. And objective 6 is back here. Of course, it's Mechanicum. They need to protect the refineries. So let's move on to deployment, and then we will return. Deployment is complete. We're playing Hammer and Anvil, and the Dark Kin have deployed a Tantalus with Grotesques inside, Drazar, Archon Skari, the Blade, and his retinue of Incubi. Over here we have a Homunculus, stopping the Styges pattern servitors from infiltrating behind enemy lines. I have a Raider here with a Disintegrator Cannon, and 2 5-man warrior units with a blaster. Well, 1 blaster in one of the units. And a 10-man unit of Cavalite Warriors, another Raider with a Disintegrator Cannon, while a Ravager with 3 Lances stands on the flank, and 5 Mandrakes are in reserve. I failed to note, my Warlord trait is Eternal Hatred. Archon Skari can reroll all 2 wound rolls, and I have the Relic is the Dijon Blade, so he's going to get extra attacks in close combat. This is the enemy Warlord, and he wants to gun it right at him. The Cult Mechanicus have answered in turn with an Onagadun Crawler, a little chicken walker thing. Battle Servitors with heavy grav. The 2 Battle Walkers with the Phosphor Guns. The Warlord. And then on this flank we got more grav guns in this cover here. Another Onagadun Crawler. The Mage guy. And then another chicken walker. And then you have, after we decide who goes first and after C's initiative roll, you have your breaches to arrive, because they're sneaky little breaches, those. Okay, so I do get the +1 to go first, sir. Okay, let's roll away. Hiya! I rolled a 6. Ooh, you rolled a 6. Oh my goodness, that means that there's a reroll. Oh my goodness, another 6. I want to use your dice.
Oh, another 6.
Oh my goodness gracious me. This dice is crazy good. It's a 6 and a 3 and a... No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. So, the Cult Mechanicus will be going first. And do I seize the initiative? Drum roll, please.
Do you want to use this?
No, I don't care. Hiya! No, it's a 4, and the Cult Mechanicus will go first. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so after turn 1, the Admech have advanced in full force. They're holding the line. We put the protocols on these guys here that make them shoot a lot. So the Onaga and them shooting at this Raider left it with 2 wounds left, because Blackheart Cabal is really cool, and thanks to passing 2 of those 6-up saves, feel no pain saves for the Raider, it survived on this flank. And then these guys infiltrated close. They moved up to secure objective 5, which was an objective. And a lot of shooting took the Tantalus down to half wounds remaining. It now only has 9 wounds left. Oh no. So we're moving on.
It did survive though.
It did. We're moving on to Dark Eldar, Drukhari turn 1. And what is High Command ordering us to do? They have ordered us to master the warp, which is impossible. They've ordered us to secure objective 1 that happens to be surrounded by servitors all the way in the back. And they have ordered us to mission critical objective. So I have to roll a d6 and score objective 1 again.
It's quite unfortunate.
They really want me to push on that objective. Vect says my Vect operatives stopped a charge here, which was great because they would have done D3 damage in combat with some attacks. So now Vex says, capture that or else. Okay, let's move on to Drukhari turn 1. Drukhari turn 1. So we had the Incubi and Drazar, or Zardrak, or whatever I called him. He's my Count as Drazar. Get outside a line of sight, charge in, and 2 of the breachers have died. 1 has taken a wound. Little underwhelming, to be honest, but they did pass all their saves against the claws, so I'm happy about that. So this raider moved up at a line of sight of the 2 Gatling guns. So did those 2 tanks. Essentially, because they can't move now, I'm just going to stay out of line of sight of them as much as possible. The Tantalus, the Homunculus jumped into the Tantalus. It moved up. It shot into this guy here, and then charged in, and I've killed 2 out of the unit of... No, yeah, 2 out of the unit of 4 with combat and mortal wounds for charging in. And the Grotesques, the Homunculus, and Archon Scari are still in the Tantalus, and it has 9 wounds remaining. So let's see if it can survive a lot of shooting within the next turn. I failed to get Objective 1, and I discarded Master the Warp. Therefore, I only got 1 point for First Blood, as my Ravager on the flank nuked the Chicken Walker, even with a -2 to hit, 2 lance hits, and it went through the armor and it just nuked him, which was great, giving me First Blood. So we're 1 point to 1 point, and the Admech have pulled Secure Objective 6, and in fitting fashion, they have to secure the Prometheum relay facility thing and the pipes. So moving on to Admech turn 2. Cult Mechanicus turn 2. So what happened this turn? Well, Secure Objective 6 was captured by the Onager Doomcrawler. A couple of stratagems went off to give the robots and the destroyers +1 ballistic skill, and he was able to shoot a lot into the Tantalus. But as you can see, the Tantalus is alive. It has 2 wounds remaining as I quick reflexed it in the shooting phase, -1 to hit, and I quick reflexed it in the charge phase that stopped the Dragoon from killing it in combat. My Ravager only took 2 wounds after only 1 of the Onager hits hit and did 3 damage, but Black Heart Cabal helped me save the damage. Now, the big thing was in this flank, where we have the Onager Doomcrawler and the robots fire into my Tantalus. It only had 4 wounds left. It had 14 wounds taken. The Chicken Walker charged in. The Overwatch fire did 4 wounds to it. It charged in. I spent another command point for -1 to hit again in combat. He did 4 wounds to it in combat at 2 damage apiece. I passed 3 out of 4 saves. 2 went through, and I saved 1. So he has he has 2 wounds left, because then he killed it in combat with his attacks.
It's like 7th edition.
Yeah, exploded, and he took a mortal wound. Wow, that was just a crazy turn of events. And over here, I've lost 2 Incubi in combat, and Drazar killed 1 of the breachers, but they're just kind of stuck there.
They're just doing their thing.
Okay, so moving on to Drukhari turn 2. And with the new beta rules, now my mandrakes can show up anywhere I want on the table, because it's after turn 2. I have 2 secure objective 1s, and now I have been given a defend objective 3, which just happens to be this objective right here. So moving on to turn 2, time for Scari to beeline it for the enemy warlord. So we're in the middle of turn 2, turn 2 charge phase. We had the Grotesque charge in, we had Archon Scari and the Homunculus charge into the warlord, but I wanted to show you this one here. This servitor has 1 wound left, and the Tantalus is going to declare a charge on all 3 units. So I wanted you guys to see firsthand if the Tantalus will survive this charge, or die in a spectacular fashion as he's trying to jump in and do mortal wounds to a bunch of stuff over here.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with the breacher, which you're doing is 5 heavy grab shots.
Okay, so the breacher is the little servitor.
Yep, just heavy grab shots. No 6s.
He
so
missed.
Now his 2 phosphor blaster shots.
The rapid fire phosphor.
Nothing.
Missed.
The last pistol on the
last
Tech
pistol.
Priest, I guess. We'll try.
Does he have like a grenade or anything?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I can check that.
He missed anyway, but it'd be good to know for the
he missed
future.
it. It's good to know for the. I can check that.
Crack or frag grenade, yeah.
But
And then
so now for the Doomclaw, this is the scary guy.
Okay.
So D3 shots.
for the big gun.
He's getting 2 shots.
Oh my goodness gracious!
These 6s, please. I just need 1 6. That's all I.
Oh no!
Okay, that's 2 6s.
Oh, that's terrible.
Quite.
Needing
unfortunate.
3s to wound.
Yep, needing 3s to win. Strength 10. So.
Oh my
2
goodness!
wounds.
Oh my
AP minus
goodness!
4.
Okay, does the invulnerable save make it? This
Cool.
could have been the demise of my Tantalus. Okay,
I'm actually
boys.
scared, dude.
Oh, he
Oh,
makes 1.
okay.
He fails 1. It's D6 damage.
D6 minimum of
with
3,
a minimum of
though.
3.
So how
yeah,
much
no.
is down to?
He's got 2 wounds left.
2 wounds,
So you do 3 damage.
3 damage.
Oh my goodness! I need to pass
Oh, that's right. The
2
field
of
up
these.
thing. That's right.
Cabal of the Black Heart. Hiya! No!
Even I was kind of rooting for you there.
yeah.
Had to
Well,
have
it was worth a try. Now does it explode?
Oh.
It doesn't. Oh my goodness. The Tantalus has died trying to go full broke. Silly little doom crawler.
Yeah.
Oh well, you saw it here first. Okay, on to combat. Drukhari turn 2. Well, other than the Tantalus destruction that you just witnessed, Archon Skari ran into combat with his Dijin blade wielded high. We targeted all this stuff in combat. I've tagged the robots so they can't move or shoot or anything, so they're stuck right there. And I put 3 wounds on the Magus Dominus with the Dijin blade. Sadly, that was not enough. And I did put 5 wounds with my blast pistol on one of the robots with Skari. In combat, I was really ineffective. I only put 2 wounds on 1 bot, and then I've lost 3 wounds on 1 grotesque. Other than that, I've done no damage here. And he's still alive with 2 wounds, and he regains a wound at the start of his turn.
Yep.
Over here, we've got 1 bot with 1 wound left, and everything else is fine. And then I failed to kill that last robot, and he killed another incubi. So Drazar and the incubi just kind of waiting in toughness 5. Very hard to get out of that combat with the high toughness of the robots. I still have secure objective 1 twice, so I'm going to hold on to them as my grotesques and Archon Skari push deeper into enemy lines. So moving on to Adeptus Mechanicus turn 3, but because he did get Big Game Hunter, so right now we're looking at 3 points to my 1, which was First Blood. 3 points to 1. Adeptus Mechanicus are winning currently. Let's move on to turn 3. Okay, so end of turn 3. So the servitors fell back. They were able to get away from an inch, but they were still within 3 inches of my homunculus. So my homunculus did heroically intervene in his turn. That Onagadun crawler continued the battle against the Ravager, putting 5 wounds on the Ravager. The Ravager has 3 wounds remaining. Archon Skari, after the Tech Priest Dominus healed the 1 robot up to full health, with his Dijin blade, killed 1 completely and put 5 wounds on the other one. Holy crap. He's a little beast in combat. This servitor fell back from combat so that servitor could fire in, killing another one of the incubi, while the Onaga Doomcrawler failed to do any damage as I passed my invulnerable save on that raider. Oh my goodness, this might be the turning point. And he got 0 points this turn because he had to kill something with shooting, and he was unable to do that. He got behind enemy lines, and he doesn't have anything behind my lines. Oh no, behind enemy lines. No, yes you do. Hold on a second. So he did get behind enemy lines as he fell back this way to get behind enemy lines with that servitor. And he did get Killer Psyker but he's going to discard that at the end of his turn because he physically can't do that. And I do gain defend objective 3, giving me 2 points. So I have 2 points and first blood to the 4 points. So it's 3 to 4. And now we're moving into Dark Eldar, turn 3. And I have mission critical objective number 1, secure objective number 1 that's in the backfield as well. And High Command has issued me to defend objective 2 that is by this raider over here. Okay, moving on to the next turn. Okay, so Drukhari turn 3 was a pivotal turn for the Drukhari. We had Xandar, Drazar, and his Klavex charge in and kill that servitor. In shooting, I did take the last wound off of that servitor with the robot, sorry. Yes. I put 2 wounds on that Onaga Doomcrawler. And Archon Skari moved in, killed the Warlord, and also attacked and killed 2 of the servitors with his Dijin Blade, while the Grotesques made short work of another 2. And there's 1 servitor left with 2 wounds, and he passed his morale, stopping me from holding objective 1, because they are objective secured. So I did get Warlord, and I started defending objective 2, which does bring me up to 4 points to the Mechanicum's 4 points, moving in to turn 4. Okay, so turn 4 for the Admech. We had the Onaga Doomcrawler in the corner, fire into this raider, finally take the last wound off. Explosion killed 3 in a unit of Cavalite Warriors. They've disembarked. It is turn 4, so they are immune to morale, so they don't care. And I did get defend objective 2, but over here, that Onaga Doomcrawler fired into the Ravager, failed to do any damage. Over here, we had the servitor fall back within 3 inches of the objective to hold objective 1, which is mission critical objective, and a special revelation.
Yeah,
Rumors of Revelation, which is a cult mech one, which is pretty much the exact same one, except your warlord can do it if he's alive, and gets extra points. So he's got 2 points for that, and 1 point for overwhelming firepower. That's a 3-point turn for the the Admech, bringing their total up to 7 points. I have 4 points plus Warlord plus First Blood. It's 6 points to 7 points. I do have secure objective 1 twice, so I just have to kill that servitor. And High Command on turn 4 tells me to domination, to control every objective on the board. Is it possible? It might be possible. I don't think it is, but we shall see. Maybe later. If we dominate. Now, I did forget to bring in my mandrakes on the 3rd turn. I got really excited, forgot my mandrakes, and therefore they will not be participating in this battle. Okay, moving on to turn 4. Okay, and we come to the end of turn 4. Drazar, or Zardrar. Whatever name I gave him. He's holding objective 5. That unit is holding objective 2. That raid is holding objective 3. Archon Skari charged in to the servitor, murdered him with his husk blade. They're holding objective 1. Finally, after getting the cards on turn 1, they're holding objective 4, and my grotesques, 2 models versus 1, are holding objective 6. That does mean that the Dark Eldar are holding every objective on the table. They have secured mission critical objective, but I stole it from my opponent, so I get D3 points for 1 point. I secured objective 1, and domination gives me D3 plus 3 for 6 points for domination. That turns the tide of battle, giving me 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 plus First Blood and Warlord. 14 points to 7. We just doubled the score as we move in to turn 5. Okay, so the Cult Mechanicus tried to kill a unit in combat and failed. They were trying to get... I've got 1 guy left, and my grotesques have pulled 4 more wounds off of this Doomcrawler. and it is down to 2 wounds remaining. That -1 AP coming in handy with the Coven of 12. Okay, so moving in to turn 5. Could be the end of the game. No points taken for the Cult Mech. The battle has slipped away from them as Archon Skari cackles in with the skull of the Cult Mech Warlord. So I have advance, get out of my deployment zone. That's going to be easy. Tech, secure objective 3 to rub salt in the wound, and blood and guts, kill something in close combat. So Onaga Doomcrawler, here I come. Okay, so end of turn 4, and I did advance. I secured 3, and Archon Skari with his Dijin blade ran in and murdered the Onaga Doomcrawler, while these 2 Cavalite warriors have died in combat, giving the Cult Mechanicus another point. So, with 18 points to the Drukhari with Linebreaker, and 8 points to the Cult Mech, it quickly fell apart after turn 4. We are going to call it a game. Thank you so much for coming down.
It's a great game.
No problem. Any comments at the end of the game?
I was actually surprised by how survivable your army was. It's like, wow, it's pretty intense. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it.
It was really fun. I really like the Tantalus. The little 5-up invulnerable saves on the tanks really helped against some high-powered strength shooting. Make sure you check the links below, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Leave a comment. What did you like? What would you change? What would you have done as the Cult Mechanicus player? And if you'd like to unlock more content, become a Patreon. Check the link down below. Patrons get access to a whole bunch of stuff. The chat, giveaways, as well as some cool exclusive content. After all, this is Skari, your grateful host, signing off until next time. Skari out.